Hello, YouTube. Today is Friday, August 14th, and there is a third patch has hit this week. We had one on Tuesday when the season launched, the HOTFIX patch, and today we have another patch where we have buffed D.MON, or with some quality of life changes mostly, but definitely a slight clunkiness buff, along with a cat nerf. So let's quickly talk about that and show you the win rates thus far, 3 days into the season. So August 14, 2026, a secondary HOTFIX update. What do they do with D.MON? First of all, a bunch of bugs. We had fixed a bug with portable fusion repeater that results in its hits failing to register. I did not know about this, where your hit scan shots were not registering. Maybe that's why her gun felt weak. Sometimes it wasn't registering. In itself, this kind of is buffing the hero in a way, even though it's technically a bug fix. Fixed a bug with limit break not granting overhealth 4 targets hit, so she wasn't getting tankier for hitting people. Interesting. Fixing the previous update, but logged here, resolved the issue that prevented the overhealth from being applied when a limit break was activated. I guess this was like the issue where like they couldn't die. The overhealth was permanently over their HP. Because I remember on day one, like when you're at like low HP and then you got the green overhealth, it wouldn't go down anymore. Which technically made her stronger in that sense. Fixed a bug where toggle propulsors did not work on console platforms. I never used toggle propulsors, but good, that's fixed. Then we have a hitbox adjustment. Fixed an issue with being damaged from the front while power barrier was deployed. So yes, I do know of this bug where shield up and people were still able to shoot you, which was really bad for her. And they adjusted the height of the mech head hitbox to be more flush with the model. Probably a bit more intuitive. I think they actually lowered it. If I remember correctly, I checked the hitbox on release and it definitely felt higher than it was supposed to be. Now it's basically the whole like glass panel screen of her mech, along with like it was originally the head of the mech, excuse me, with a little bit of the glass panel. I should probably double check what it is now before I move on, before I like overspeak. Let me see. Let's see what this looks like really quick. Thank you for the resub. Nothing but cakes for the 59 months. So they adjusted it. What did they do? So the head hitbox of D.MON, like the actual head, that's a crit. 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 Not a crit. Not a crit. Not a crit. Not crit. Not crit. Okay, so it's D.MON, like the Yuna Lee human pilot head along with mech head. So it's probably like that, if I had to guess. That's a head hitbox. A lot of people are just shooting the center mass because it's similar to how Diva is, not D.MON. But that's because, you know, her face is literally like the whole... She's like angled when she operates her mech. She's like leaning down like it's a ride at Disneyland. So, not quite the same. You shoot the glass panel here, but for D.MON, you got to aim way higher. So yeah, right around there. Okay, so they adjusted that to be a bit more intuitive there, but just don't shoot too low. What else happened in this patch? Let me see really quick. So they adjusted that, more flush with the model. And then they buffed Surging Strike. The cast time has been reduced from 0.15 to 0.05 seconds. And the recovery afterwards, where you're able to like at least use an ability, so you're not animation locked, has been reduced from 0.25 to 0.15 seconds. So overall, after you use the Surging Strike, you're able to just control your character more. It comes out a little quicker. It helps the fluidity of the hero and removes some of the clunkiness. That's a pretty good change here as well. And then the fusion repeater, the gun, the cast time itself for it to activate before you're able to shoot, recovery time reduced from 0.3 to 0.2 seconds, along with the recovery time afterwards when it's over, reduced from 0.5 to 0.2 seconds. So overall, these are all anti-clunkiness solves for the hero and fixes for the hero. So she should feel a lot better. And then when you combine this with all the changes and all the first hotfix patch that they gave for her, I originally said that she was like a D tier hero. Low-key, after playing a lot yesterday with the first set of hotfix buffs, I was like, you know what? She's like C tier, like low-key, like B tier. She's all right now. And now people are learning the hero, learning how to play her, using the gun and then engaging, picking the spots a lot better, along with the anti-clunkiness and then fixing some like pretty bad bugs. Low-key, she's rising up in the ranks for sure in terms of like how viable she is. I don't mind seeing a D.MON on my team anymore, especially now that they can chase. The biggest buff to her from the hotfix was honestly the propulsor fuel drain rate. You're actually able to chase people, you know, once they expend their movement, you actually have 4 seconds of movement to get on top of them and continue to wail on them with the buffed saber. Honestly, might even be high B, maybe even a low A tier tank. Like she's certainly in the middle of the pack, or like I'm on the higher on the pecking order in tanks right now. Doing pretty damn well in both 5v5 and 6v6 in my experience in the maybe the 50 to 100 games I've already played so far. Good direction for her. You can actually see right now, let me swap over to the page. The win rate has been going up slightly every single day since her release. If we just not filter by quick play and average ranks, I think on day one in the Americas, her win rate was just basically pulled high thanks to bronze and silver, but anything between Masters and Grandmaster Plus, she was at like a 37% win rate, which is abysmal. And now she's not even like bottom half anymore. Has she gone up? She's at 50% on average when you take all the ranks, of course. If we actually just filter by, let's say Master first, because a lot of people are not in Grandmaster and Champion just yet, simply because of the new rank reset and the placement. It's rising up to 46% in Masters, which is getting there, along with 45.8% in Grandmaster. On PC in America specifically, there's so few people here. These win rates look a little lopsided. We're only 3 days in the season, but these stats are only updated for day 1 and day 2. And honestly, the day 1 stats probably pulled the average down significantly as well, if you want to think about it that way, because she was abysmal on release. All that Tuesday, people learning and pulling her win rate down. This is not like, we're not trying to overreact by looking at these win rates, because that's super bad faith. Again, the stats are super skewed, not enough sample size, and the day 1, despite the when the hotfix patch dropped yesterday, it didn't magically erase all the games they played on Tuesday. So the 30, I would say yesterday's win rate was probably closer to 50. Day 1 was 37, and maybe we're sitting at like 45, 46% today. The best bet is like give it another like 5 more days, and then you can probably assess 1 week after the season is out. So probably by next Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll take a look at the win rates and stuff again to get a better assessment on how the hero is actually doing. But the big thing is I did see it on Tuesday on day 1, saw it on day 2 after the hotfix, and it's definitely been pulled up, so she's a lot more respectable right now, for sure. So that's kind of where she sits right now, around like the 45, 46% in the highest ranks, looking okay. But that's that. The next thing they've done today was also HOTFIX nerf Jetpack Cat, because Jetpack Cat apparently has also been dominating like crazy, because they like nerfed a part of Cat's like lifeline movement by like 10%, but like the base movement of Cat went up, the acceleration it went faster, so the Cat was even better at like doing the tracer role in the support category. Like you could take any angle, annoy people and pressure people from anywhere, and Cat was like doing some monstrous things in super high elo, so much in fact that I think the ban rate was insane. In Grandmaster Plus, the most banned hero at 68% when I filter for all the supports. Let me actually do all the heroes. It's Cat, Mauga, Freya in Grandmaster Plus on NA. In Asia, it's Freya, Cat, Zarya, Pharah. In Europe, it's Cat, Freya, Mauga. So Cat being an absolute menace with a very disgusting win rate. Again, try not to overreact with very early win rates, but it does paint a little bit of a picture right now, a little bit of a story, I suppose, to start things off in the season. So a necessary set of hotfix nerfs today, removing that random base movement speed buff from 6 to 5.5 meters per second. And so her like off angles and pressure, not as annoying, I suppose, just slightly a bit slower, along with Per, which is her E, the little AoE thing. The self-healing penalty increased from 25% to 40%. So right now, I think it heals 300 if all the waves hit. So like at first, I think the self-healing is 25% less than of 300. So 75% effectiveness of the 300. My mental math is not great. Divided by 4, what is that? Like 75. It was like 225 self-healing before. Now it's 40% of 300. So that's 180 self-healing only for Per right now, without the perk. When you take the perk, it does go to 360, and then you just do the math from that. So basically, Cat has less self-sustain when she like decides to go in and press the Per to damage or knock them back, but start self-healing as well. So overall, necessary Cat nerfs, and that is it so far. I will say, Overwatch has been pretty on top of these hotfixes. Like, they're really trying to make sure Season 4 is landing And they've adjusted the problematic stuff pretty quickly, making D.MON a lot more playable, a lot more fun, and addressing the big elephant in the room, the big cat in the room, which was Jetpack Cat, dominating super high elos. Probably not too annoying for majority players, but she was definitely, Fika was definitely causing issues in high elo. The next thing they should nerf is probably the infinite lifeline for Cat Bastion comps. But like, that's one step in the right direction. I'm still very surprised they haven't done that. So like the pro meta might still be Cat Bastion, unfortunately. But for now, that's what we got on today's hotfix patch. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Yeah. Bye.